Howdy, Astro Jewelers. So, after my last video for Bropener, Benjamin Hall left a comment, could you review my store, Astro Jewelers? So let's go ahead and let's do that today. So I quickly ran through it once before doing this, so I've seen a little bit. The first thing I noticed when I landed on the store was I know it's something about jewelry, mostly just because of the name, but there's really no hook um, or call to action besides telling me that there's a sale in soon or unique value proposition. That's what I should really say. Like, why Astro Jewelers? Why does it matter? Why should I continue to scroll and look at the products here? So I would come up with a better um, first impression. So that would, you could say something like who are you targeting? It could be based on who you're targeting or something special about your jewelry. Like maybe it's, let's see, there's moons, there's snow, there's stars, moons, jewels, leaves, zodiac stuff. So maybe it's something space or astrological related, like unique astrological jewelry or uh, jewelry for the astrological lover in you or something like that, but just something that speaks to who the brand is. Kind of getting to this text, up to 50% sale in soon. There's a couple reasons that this is the wrong way to promote a sale. One, you're saying sale in soon. How soon? I don't know. It sounds like you don't know either. So if you're doing any kind of sale, you need to time box it so that people know what that when that sale will be ending, and that helps build that urgency um, into your products. Up to 50%, that's okay, generally speaking, but it's usually that, like, maybe you're having like it'd be better to say something like site-wide sale or uh, July sale, just something that says like, hey, you can expect to see sale prices on all of our products up to 50% or something like that. Um, and really, because you only have a few products, saying up to 50%, and you only have, looks like there's only two discounted products. I just wouldn't put a sale up right now at all, um, unless everything's on sale. That's, or else say, well, yeah. So let's just leave it at that for now. So there are a few, I think, legibility and color issues, and just that this type of text, white on light gray, this is incredibly difficult for most people to read. Even white on light pink is incredibly difficult. It's getting more into like the nitty gritty of accessibility and some other things. But if you know how to use the inspector tool, you could even come in here and, like, so here's our background color, which is the pink, and here's our text color. If I pop this open, we actually get a contrast ratio score. This is in Chrome of 1.53, and it gives us a little red circle that's telling us about some of the accessibility standards, and that could affect people who have poor vision or color blindness and that sort of thing. So usually you're at least going for a double A rating to hit like some of the accessibility guidelines that are recommended. Let's see if I just darken this up. Maybe that's not going to darken it. It must be the whole bar that's pink. Here it is. Let's darken this up. Honestly, it could probably be black. So this, actually, I would suggest making it a darker neutral color because it is just a secondary element to the page, to your navigation and all. So that would look a lot better. Let's get rid of this for now because this is distracting. Um, the header bar, honestly, the padding is kind of too big. Like this should be really neutral and almost like not really part. I mean, it's not very important stuff for your first time visitors, especially. Um, if you can, I would probably just turn off search. I've seen, search comes on turned on by default for a lot of these Shopify themes, but you don't really need, it's not a necessity at this time because you don't really have enough product or content to search. I would say the same thing for most of the Shopify sites that I look at. So if you can turn that off, I would do that. I would even turn off login and create account if possible. These are just things that kind of just clutter up and add to the complexity of what people are looking at when they first land on your site and trying to figure things out. Home, necklaces, rings, bracelets, that's okay. Home, debatable whether you actually need that or not. You could just use the logo. Most people expect that these days. These are categories. You could possibly get rid of these single categories. You could test this, like just wait and see if you're getting any traffic. Just do products or collections, something like that. That way you could have some other more important aspects up here. Let's see what you'd have down here. Search, privacy policy, terms, returns. Like you don't have any way for a contact or any kind of way for customers or potential customers to validate who you are. So if you have just an about, like who are you, why are you doing this, why can people trust you, why can people order from you, what are they going to do if they do order from you and they don't like something or there's a problem, how are they going to get in touch with you? Just adding that will kind of help allay people's fears. Um, Same here, like get rid of search. So the photo's okay, I think. It could be better, possibly. I know I said this in the Bropener one. I think this would also be good, like if you can find a video clip. Um, video is kind of like people go back and forth on whether you should put a video clip at the top or as a background image. But it really does help sell your product really fast, more so than a tagline or a logo or a photo. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be of your actual product. If you don't have any video available of these products, you could find other available video on a free stock video site that just has that brand elegance that you're going for with jewelry. Let's talk about the logo really fast. So I think it's fine. It's nothing that's going to stand out long term for sure, but you can get away with it. One thing to note anytime you're working with script is how these letter forms connect. And this could either be, see how they're not quite aligning correctly. I mean, that could either be because it's not quite a, a quality typeface, and it's the way that the designer or whoever the type creator just didn't like work on it very well. Make it sync up correctly, or you might be doing extending or increasing or decreasing the letter spacing. And for a lot of scripts, you really can't do that. Would do something else. I mean, but you're probably fine. You're fine right now. Just leave the logo as is, but maybe make it smaller and your whole color scheme. You really don't have. It's very simple. It's black and white and your pink, which is fine because a lot of elegant brands, they are very simple purposely because it's really about the content and the photography, and that's good. I think pink is a little this light of a pink is a little bit of a turnoff, at least to me. But I mean, I'm a guy, so maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe girls are okay with it, but at the same time, like you end up having the same problem. So refresh, so we get back to that. You have the same problem that I mentioned about the tone from the text on top of the light pink. So they're both incredibly light colors. So you could change that to something. What is affecting that color? Okay, so it's not that. There it is. So maybe you just need to add a little bit more saturation into the color, your brand color, um, or to go a different route. Black is always good. Um, but you can use a color though. You just got to find the right tone. Let's let's continue on. Um, okay, so let's see. Initial product. Maybe I would, instead of saying like shop now or something, I'd say like check out the collection. Just something more interesting that says like, hey, see everything that we have. I see you have your categories broken down here again. I think it's okay. Who we are. I didn't even notice that this was kind of your descriptive of who you are. Um, I don't know what this photo is. Replace that. This just looks like boxes. If we're talking about who we are, we need some people. People always, people photos always perform really well. Faces are good, definitely better than boxes. Right now, the homepage seems very repetitive because you have, if I count this, your nav for the categories, you have this one big photo that's a close-up shot. You have your categories with photos again. Okay, you have who we are. That's the only different um, section, and then you have featured collection, which is basically all the products that you have. So I think you could do something different. Instead of listing out your categories and your products, maybe you list out one featured product, and because I know a lot of the Shopify themes have those different blocks that you can do, like featured image or featured collection, something like that, and then maybe talk more into your value prop of like why your jewelry is different or special or interesting, instead of just listing out all your products again. Subscribe to newsletter. That's fine. I don't. People probably aren't going to subscribe this early on into your site, your Shopify, or your business, um, but you never know. Same kind of comments as far as the color schemes. Um, okay, let's hop on over. Well, let's take a look at a category real quick. Categories. This is fine. I think what kind of turns me off to these category pages is just the fact that you only have like 9 products right now. Um, Besides that, this would normally be completely fine. I would look into your settings for these pages and turn off the provider if you can, because it's just going to be your name. Let's see. Let's take a look at this one. Product page. Okay, so you have zoom on. You have multiple images for each. What are these? Constellation pendant. Okay. Metal color. Okay, I see. Okay, so I think this is this text is wrong just because it says metal color, but it's actually the design. I think one of your other ones, it actually was the color star signs. Okay, you did that one correctly. Metal color, rose gold, yellow gold. That's good. I know I saw one that I wanted to mention. Anyways, I think it had something about colors, but it was basically just numbers. Oh yeah, this one, metal color. So just make sure you update those instead of using the default that comes from your tools. Just a moment. Okay. In general, this is kind of the standard setup for a product page. Title, stars. You can't actually tell. I would turn off product reviews right now unless you can pull some in from wherever you're sourcing these products, just because you don't have any and these stars are empty. you think you can't really tell if they're empty or if it's 5 star, but it is empty. Um, this same pink color is a little light. Tax included, that's fine. You're breaking these out into their own lines. I like that. Let's go back to one of your other products that had the star sign. Yeah, this one. Okay, so you do have some reviews on this one. Okay, Russia, US. If you can, I would. These names are Russian. I would get rid of the flags just so you're not. So they're not shouting out like the location that they're coming from, because a lot of these kinds of products you'll end up selling more into like China or Russia specifically. Let's see. That's fine. Okay. If you can go style this stuff, like I would make this price a lot smaller and maybe above this one and make this the cost that it actually is larger. This is fine. I think this works. The one thing that I prefer to see, which is it's not always possible, is when you can change the star sign that you're picking and it changes the photo for you. So an example would be um, this is one of my shops, which I don't do much with anymore, but let's take a look at this. So my frame styles. So here's CO1, CO2, CO3, CO4. So whenever they pick their frame color or frame style, it updates the photo next to it. Add to cart button. So this should be like your primary button that people are seeing whenever they're going through here, and it's really difficult to see because of that pink and because it's just an outline, uh, a border pink button. So it should really be, it needs to be a fill. So your your primary pink color with black text or something like that. The PayPal button. I mean, I think it's good to have because people like to check out with PayPal if possible. But man, that it's so yellow. I wish if they have other options, see if there's like a toned down gray or black. So that's more of a secondary. You can even do like some sort of splitting out, putting a separator or a little bit of space between these two, or boxing these other options. Because I see this as a button as well. I don't know what it does. Okay. Um, you can't even tell this is here. So it either needs to be made clear what it is or get rid of it. Secure and trusted. This is can be helpful. That's fine. I know this is the product description. It just looks kind of really jumbled. Like you need some better spacing and whatnot throughout here. I would just get rid of these share buttons. Nobody actually uses these. I know people always hope that they will, but they never do. And so it just kind of junks up your page. You may also like, that's cool. Um, the whole page layout is a little bit jarring just because of you have the photos, and then the thumbnails are stacking, but then they're not all the same height. And then you have kind of just like a ragged edge on this side of the details and the content, and then it sticks down a little bit farther. So you got this weird white space over here, you got some extra weird white space over here, and then you have your you may also like products, and they're just justified far left, and then you have your um, customer reviews, and they're sort of centered. So I would try to like work on your alignment for everything. So maybe this is centered text, so it's over here, and then these photos are centered as well, so they're just all landing more along the center of the page. Let's see what we can do here. Text align center. Let's do that really fast. Grid items. Let's see if I can make a change. That's going to change a lot of stuff. Yeah. Well, let's just see if there are settings that you can tweak. Okay, so I mean that's my recommendations for the product page. I mean, there's always more you could do, but generally speaking, I think it's take what I said into account and see what you can do. Um, I think you need an about page. I think you need a contact page. I didn't even look at these. These are always just kind of boilerplate. Uh, let's see, you have okay, so you have a favicon. So I think you might be working on this as I'm looking at it because I've seen a couple things pop up. Change your title to be capital A and capital J with a space if you can. Um, necklaces, okay. I see that you added this little Wheel of Fortune dealio. I'm indifferent on whether these actually work or are useful. It definitely doesn't, like right now, the styling definitely doesn't fit in with your brand. It's kind of jarring. Um, you also just have to be careful with all these add-ons and pop-ups. Like if you're going a little bit overboard and making it look like too spammy or too cheap. I think I did mention somewhere else if you do like a sticky scroll for the add to cart button and stuff that performs pretty well. I have it on here, so let's see. So once you scroll past add to cart, it puts your details up here. You can still change this stuff, quantity, add it to your cart. That works really well. Okay, so this is the add-ons that I have here. The sticky one, I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's straight to checkout. I, I'm kind of in a love-hate relationship with a lot of these plugins. They try to do too much sometimes, or they don't do them very well. Okay, so this is it. Sticky cart. Choose the sticky cart. So check that one out. I think it's been a decent plugin that I've been using um, that I would recommend, I think. Okay, so that's probably enough for now. Gives you a few ideas of things to do, and good luck.